Hello, Merrimack, and welcome to Discover Merrimack. This is a show about the hidden and not so hidden gems of our town. I'm Rosemary Rung, and I'm your host, and I'm so happy to have Michael Redding with us today. Michael's here. He's a Grand Knight of the Knights of Columbus. And Michael, thank you so much for coming. And I hear your title is Grand Knight.
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell me what that's about in the organization of the Knights of Columbus?
Sure, yeah, thank you for having me, Rosemary. Yeah, the Knights of Columbus is a Catholic fraternal organization. Our chapter is based out of the Our Lady of Mercy parish here in town. As a Grand Knight, I'm in charge of the council. So like the president or the leader of the group. I help organize the events. I help put together the activities for the year, oversee all of our financial commitments and responsibilities, and just there to provide kind of the programming for our group and our members.
Oh, it's great. Well, one of your activities, it's my favorite activity, is coming up, and that's the annual craft fair that the Knights put on. And tell me more about that. I think it's November 3rd and 4th.
That's right, yep. November 3rd and 4th, so the Friday and the Saturday. It's our 23rd year doing it. It's a big hit in town. I'm always amazed the amount of people that show up. We have roughly 45 crafters that attend. We always sell out, which is amazing. We get roughly 800 participants to come through over those 2 days. It's a great community event. It certainly, gives everybody that time as we're heading into the fall to maybe pick up gifts for the house or even for Christmas. But it also provides a really neat opportunity for fellowship, which is one of the things that the Knights are always trying to do when they're interacting with the community. To bring our faith into the community, but also to bring sharing friendships and sharing, care for one another. I've run into people who have been going to this craft fair for 10, 15 years. They'll meet friends there every year, and it's like they catch up, come from out of town, and maybe they went to high school together in Merrimack back in the 70s, right? and so they're meeting up, and we have a place there for them to eat and enjoy the craft fair as well. So it's a fun time.
Yeah, we have a picture of it, and one of the things I really appreciate, the Knights allow booths there, even for non-crafters, because my participation has been to support the Wreaths Across America.
Yes.
And so my friend Nancy Murphy and I man that, and then there's a section for Alzheimer's where Bob Bergen is there selling puzzles with Sylvia to raise money for Alzheimer's. So you're right, it's a great touchstone for the community where people can come together. And it's a good fundraiser for the Knights, true?
It's a great fundraiser, yep, absolutely. The money that we generate goes right back into the community. We'll use that to support everything from like the Nashua Soup Kitchen to we have the Pennacook Pregnancy Center as one of our other hosts. We have the Merrimack Friars, which helps children with intellectual disabilities, and then things like the New Hampshire Catholic Charities facility and the food bank.
Okay. No, it sounds great. So tell me, how do people get involved with the Knights?
Sure.
I know we were talking that my dad was a Knight for many years, and we moved around during my childhood. He was in the Air Force, but he always found a home with the Knights, whatever parish we joined, wherever we moved. And so, but I always wonder, is it open to just men from that parish? Does each Catholic parish have their own council?
Right. Yes, for the most part. So the way that it's a Catholic fraternity. So if you're a Catholic male, you can join the Knights. You can join online. You don't have to be particularly anchored in one council or community. You can. There's an online membership that you can enroll in. If you want to be active in the community or in with that council, you would approach me or the one of the other Knights. And essentially ask for membership. The way that it works is that once you're enrolled, there's some educational pieces that you'll go through to learn about our principles, which are charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism. These are the cores to our foundation and to our institution, and really what we govern ourselves on when we do our works of charity and other acts in the community. And so, yeah, once you learn that and basically take an oath to commit to those principles, then you become a knight.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So the council that's out of Our Lady of Mercy, how many members do you have?
We've about 90 members.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah. And so it's a kind of a mix of young and old, and you've got from all different types of backgrounds. You got folks that are really good with their hands and can build things, and you have others that are really great with financial aspects. And what's nice is that we all bring our skill sets to the nights, and we'll use them like things for the craft fair and things for like community events like our 4th of July parade, which is always a big hit in town.
Well, I think we have a picture of the tent.
That's right.
That's used at 4th of July, and there it is. And that's the great place to be. It's a great location, and
sure
you
is.
were telling. And it's a great place too because people can get something to eat there. But tell us about what the biggest hit is.
Yeah,
with that.
For sure.
tent.
Yeah. So every year when we pop up the tent and get our space ready, and it's just at the end of the parade route, it's usually always on a pretty warm day. July 4th. It's always a pretty warm day. And it won't take very long, and we'll have a line down the sidewalk all the way to the town hall, and that's for snow cones. There's something special. So we have our own machine, and we handcraft them under that tent. And we've got I think it's 4 or 5 different flavors, everything from orange to fruit punch and raspberry and you name it. And we're looking to add a few more this year. So yeah, it's a big hit. And we get excited just looking at the kids that come forward and just can't wait to devour their snow cone.
What's the most popular flavor?
It's fruit punch for
fruit
sure.
Punch,
yeah,
really?
yeah, the mixture of all flavors,
Yeah,
I guess, right?
Yeah, it's you're probably the one that gives all the red lips.
That's
too,
right. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So you were talking about you've got the craft fair, you got the 4th of July tent, you raise money. And you told us some of the charities that you contribute to. Do you do anything on your own in the community? Like, is there someone that comes to the parish or the council needing help, or most of the charitable things, do they go through other organizations?
Oh, sure, yeah. So, for instance, we'll do things like the roadside cleanup. Like we sponsor a section here on Babusick Lake down to the Rotary.
Oh, okay.
So we do that section actually this Saturday. We're going to do the road cleanup there. But we are also stewards in the community. And what I mean by that is a good example was we got a call from Catholic Charities for a woman in need who was looking to, she had a washer machine that broke, and she was getting one donated from a friend, but she was handicapped and not able to be able to get that there. So she called Catholic Charities and said, is there someone that could help me move it? I just need to get it here, and I've got a friend that will help me hook it up, but I just need to, and then take the old one out and put it on the curb. So we said, no problem. We're happy to take on that role, absolutely. So again, someone with a pickup truck that has a little bit of plumbing background took the lead, and 3 or 4 of us jumped in behind, and we went down to the place in Bedford where it was, and brought it down and helped move it into the basement of one of the townhouses in town. So it's things like that, moving furniture. Whether it be, or like if there's something that needs to be donated and transferred down to Nashua. We did that one time for families in transition. There was a couch that was being donated. We did the same thing. But we're always looking to be active in the community and help those in need. Whether it's simply looking in on someone that might be a friend or a neighbor that we haven't heard from in a while, just to make sure that everything's okay, or helping out in those times of need. We have a few knights that are elderly and can always, take care of their snow or mow their lawns, and so we'll have our knights go out into the community to help out in that regard too.
Well, it's so heartwarming to hear about this, Mike, because this is what keeps the fabric, the social fabric, strong in a community. It's people that can organize, and together they can accomplish so much more than one person could do alone, because you can really leverage all these different skills and abilities of your members, the other nights to do it. So I just think it's a wonderful thing, and I want to kind of go back a little bit to how you got started. Does it always? Did you form the council? Like, how old is it at Our Lady of Mercy?
Oh, gotcha.
Do they go hand in hand, the council with the Catholic parish?
They do, yes. Usually they do. So in the Catholic Church, typically the knights kind of act as, the behind the scenes group. So, for instance, we do, coffee and donuts, and we do breakfasts. We'll do community dinners and other types of activities for the parish, but also for the community. They're always welcome to come in. And so we serve the priests, we serve the parish office, and really the parishioners. When it has to do with the entity and the kind of the physical plant of the church, if you will, helping that out. As far as the formation of it, usually what happens is that early on, in a parish, there's a need for these types of things, and someone will create the chapter. Usually what will happen is another chapter will see that they'll either get a call from a priest, or they'll hear of interest from folks that are attending that parish, but there is no council there. And so they'll help start that chapter. And then once it gets going, it just kind of self-perpetuates, and they're looking to, pull in the knights from that parish. Most of them are, for our sake, most of them are in Merrimack, but there's a few that will come from Bedford or Nashua that like to go to Our Lady of Mercy, and so maybe they're outside the community, but they're still a knight in our council.
They're in the church community, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's great because it serves as a nice outreach between the parish and the community.
Yes.
So it's a liaison, I guess.
Yes.
Now, is there a role for women in the Knights?
There is, yes. So they have a program, the Ladies of the Knights, and what that allows is the similar thing is that it's a kind of a chapter within our entity, and kind of like a ladies' guild or an auxiliary. That chapter would take up its own, kind of passion or interest. There are groups that are, I know, in different. We don't have one at Our Lady of Mercy, but there are other chapters and councils that have them, and they'll do things like they'll have make blankets or do some knitting for, say, like newborns in the NICU, or helping those that maybe are in hospice or something like that. They'll make and prepare foods for folks, especially around like Thanksgiving and those times of need. And then they'll do other type of faith-filled adventures, activities, trips. So it really kind of depends on that group and what they want to do. But yes, ladies are more than welcome always.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then the Knights of Columbus Council at Our Lady of Mercy, you said there are 90 members. What are some of the age ranges? Because I do know Zach Murphy, I think he's only 18 or 19, and he's a member, right?
He's our youngest.
Yeah, he is, okay.
Yeah, so he would be the bottom. I would say the average age is probably closer to 65.
But,
I think as we're seeing it's kind of an interesting group in the sense that you've got Zach, you've got a couple others that are in their 30s, and then a few more in 40s and 50s, which is where I'm in, and then you have more of the larger group, which is probably in the 60s and 70s, and that's where I lean to for the heritage and just kind of learning from them. You mentioned Bob Bergen before; he's a past Grand Knight, and certainly has helped me quite a bit with just my role as the Grand Knight. I'm just entering into my second term. So
well, it's nice too because people up at the they bring that institutional knowledge and just life experience, but then typically they're retired, so they do have time.
They do, yeah.
Which is often short for people in their working ages. And
Right.
then Zach, I mean, how tall is he? I mean, if you need to move a dishwasher, he's your man,
He
right?
is the man. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I guess he's also got a little knack for music and DJ, and he's helped us out recently with some
Oh.
event activities, just keeping that, background music going and making the party, pleasant. So,
Yeah. So about how many activities do you do? Do you have like regular meetings every week or month? And do you pretty much run a standard calendar? Like I know you have
Yeah.
4th of July in July, and then you've got the craft fair in November.
Yeah.
Are there any other things, or just have activities as they come up?
Right. So a lot of our activities are geared around fundraising, and so July is usually our very busy month with the 4th of July parade, but then we also volunteer up at Loudon at the NASCAR event.
Oh, okay.
So most people know that nonprofits can donate their time up there to help the track, and the track actually gives money back to that organization, basically pays you an hourly fee. So it's a great way for a charitable organization to raise funds. So we do that. We've got the craft fair. And then throughout the year, we'll do small things, mostly in the parish. We've got a ham and bean supper that's coming up here at the end of October. We like to do a mac and cheese contest in the kind of the winter time when things are kind of glum and we're looking to try to just kind of get some comfort food. Well, we did that last year and that was a big hit. We do a Christmas party. Trying to think if there's anything else that's real big in the community.
Well, I once had an idea.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have an organization to kind of push it through. But I always thought if we had put Merrimack on the map as saying having a Merrimack and cheese contest or something,
fantastic
like Merrimack.
idea. Yeah.
But maybe the Knights will take that up. But I thought having like an old tasting contest where I don't know if you can have private people do it anymore, but restaurants can submit their best Merrimack and cheese entree and have like a panel of testers that I could volunteer for and see which one has the best dish. But that is a good thing to do in the winter.
It's a great idea, and I just want to take a moment to thank DW Diner. They are a huge sponsor for us. They donate a tremendous amount of food for our activities, and so I want to publicly thank them. But also, I'm going to reach out to them with this idea.
Yeah.
I bet you they would be open to this, and maybe we could create something kind of like we had the Rib Fest, and we have that sort of thing that goes on here. Maybe we can have a little Merrimack and cheese contest. That would be
I think
great.
it would be a great idea because you've got I know Nick LaValle had really got Manchester on the map, being the chicken tender capital of the world, and I think Keene or Milford has the pumpkin festival.
That's right,
and I thought, well, Merrimack should have prominence in the state by having something it's unique and special to it. And everybody I know in Merrimack likes mac and cheese, even people that have dairy issues. There's different things you can substitute for. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
we'll have to think about that.
Oh, I love
but
that
if you
idea.
push it, that'd be
All
great.
right,
I'd like
yep.
to see something happen with it someday.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Now, does the Knights have a Facebook page, or do you have anything through the Our Lady of Mercy website where people want more information or want to be able to support the work that you do?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. So on the Our Lady of Mercy page, we do have a tab for us, the Knights of Columbus, and they can go there and they can see all the activities. We have a calendar of events that links there, and then obviously our emails are there if someone wants to contact us for either to support or if they need assistance in any way. That would be an easy way to get a hold of us.
Okay. And you're well represented at the craft fair. So, Michael, I want to thank you so much for coming
pleasure.
on.
Yeah.
And please, Merrimack, if you want to really treat yourself, find some time to go to the Knights Craft Fair. It'll be at the Upper Elementary School APR. It starts on Friday, November 3rd from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. And then it goes on the next day, Saturday, November 4th from 9 to 3. It's a lot of fun. You can meet the Knights there. See some great crafts and activities going on. So, and I think there's food provided too.
Yes.
So they're great cooks at the KFC. So thank you so much for joining. And until next time, I'm Rosemary Rung. Thank you.